Parents of tweens, if you're familiar with far-off drop-offs...
Dad, stop, right here.
Or get DMs about what's for dinner, you may be experiencing tween milestones. For your son or daughter, these can start at age 9. HPV vaccination, a type of cancer prevention against certain HPV-related cancers, can start then too.
For most, HPV clears on its own. But for those who don't clear the virus, it can cause certain cancers later in life.
Embrace this phase. Help protect them in the next.
Ask their doctor today about HPV vaccination. Brought to you by Merck.
What's worse than an ad interrupting your favorite music or podcast? That uninspired coffee you've been drinking while working, which is why Flavia is elevating your everyday coffee experience. Now you can enjoy cafe-quality beverages like coffee, tea, frothy lattes, and creamy hot chocolate made right in your home office, actual office, or wherever you want to upgrade your mug with bold, delicious flavors. Visit Flavia.com to shop the collection of machines and beverages now.
Hello and welcome to History for Weirdos.
We're your hosts, Andrew
and Stephanie,
and we're going to take you on a journey into the strange, obscure, and relentlessly entertaining corners of human history.
Now listen up, friends, because it's about to get weird.
Weirdos, welcome back to another episode of History for Weirdos, and boy, do we have a special episode for you today.
Yes, not only are we in Spotify, similar to our last episode,
yes,
we're at Spotify, this lovely set. We are doing an Ask Us Anything episode.
Yes. And all of these questions came from our listeners who follow us on Instagram. So if you aren't listening or watching us on Instagram... or following us.
That's the word.
That's the word I wanted to say. You should, because you get to do stuff like this.
Yep. You get to ask us questions.
Yes, and by the time you're listening or watching to this episode, we will already have all of our Rome, stuff up.
That was so enticing.
I know. I literally forgot the words content.
Yeah.
How did I forget the word content?
Yeah. So... when this airs, we're back from Rome already, or from Italy?
Yeah.
Wow. Time is interesting.
I know, isn't it?
But yeah, we asked on our stories if folks had questions for us, and we got a lot of questions.
So
we're just going to jump right in and start answering them. We'll take turns.
Yeah, take turns. You want to do the first one?
Sure.
Go.
Okay, this one comes from Amber Punk.
Amber Pumpkin, it looks like. Or Pumpkin.
Amber Pumpkin 13, least favorite historical subject. Ooh.
I don't think I've ever been asked that before.
I tend to not like a lot of military history.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I think...
I'm not a big military historian.
It's usually overhyped.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a big military historian either. I just like the consequences of battles. The more the grand kind of what are the cause and effect.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily what are the battle tactics. Unless it's Hannibal's double envelopment strategy, because that changed the course of history.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Stephanie likes it even less.
So what's your least favorite subject?
Mine, honestly, this might be a little bit controversial. Early 19th century, antebellum American history is really boring to me.
I mean, I could see that. Is there anything in particular that stands out to you as boring?
Everything is just kind of boring. There was the early portion of the 19th century American history is kind of interesting, because you have the Monroe Doctrine and stuff like that. It's really after that, the 1820s and 30s, kind of just 40s, kind of boring. And then once you get some more of the abolitionist movement picking up steam, then it gets more interesting, and then that leads to the Civil War, which is horrible but really interesting.
Yeah, because when I think of our antebellum history, I truly just think of the South, and I think of so much pain and suffering.
That's a little bit after the time period that I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess those are our least favorites.
Yeah, super random, I know.
It's a good question.
That's a great question.
All right, you read the next one.
Does Pericles have a middle name? No.
Yes,
but
he does.
What is it?
You forgot it?
I forgot it.
I named him Pericles Ignacio Iverson Cerati.
I don't recognize Ignacio.
What?
I don't recognize it.
But then his nickname can be Nacho or Nachito.
No.
Ignacio's a great name. What is his middle name for you then?
Artabanus.
Are we about to have a fight in front of the Weirdos? This is a very controversial question apparently in our home. So I said when we first got him.
Oh my God. Oh, we're still going with this.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You chose Pericles.
Yes.
Not the best name.
It's a great name.
And so I said, okay, then his middle name is Ignacio.
Oh, I do remember that now.
Yeah.
I think conveniently forgot about it.
My Dios mío. Typical.
Typical.
And that question, by the way, came from
Meg.
Meg.
Thanks, Meg.
Thanks. All right, my turn.
Your turn.
This is from Mr. Hales. What conspiracy theory do you actually believe could be true?
Oh, I have a spicy answer.
Conspiracy theory that could be true. I feel like they're all true.
Not flat Earth.
No. Oh my gosh,
But
no, that's so embarrassing.
That's like a dumb. There's two types of conspiracy theories. There's the conspiracy theories that are like, okay, it'll be proven fact in like 6 months. But then there's conspiracy theories that are just so, almost said a bad word. It's just they're so stupid. Flat Earth is the latter. It's just stupid. But
I feel like most conspiracy theories about nefarious doings from our government here in the United States are true.
Yeah.
Or have an element of truth to them.
Absolutely.
So I think I know which one you're going to say.
JFK assassination?
Yeah.
Yeah. Israel was complicit in targeting JFK.
Through the CIA?
With the CIA's help, yep.
Very
And
spicy
organized
question.
crime in the United States.
Wow. Well, there you have it, weirdos.
Yep. I know. I was like, that's a spicy one. I'm going to get some comments for that one.
I'm sure, but it's...
Also, free Palestine while we're at it.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Yeah. No, I think I could see that.
Yeah.
I didn't have any questions. But that kind of goes along with what I said, where I think most conspiracy theories revolving our government are true.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially post World War II is just so bad.
I know. Isn't that great?
Oh,
Okay.
and then I'm reading the second one, or this next one. Little Jason 97 wrote, "My past life was during the Roman invasion in the England, UK. That's really cool." Actually, maybe not. Maybe not to live through it.
I was gonna say, I wonder where they fall. Like, where were they?
Yeah.
Were they English?
Or were they Roman?
Yeah.
Oh, now that's a question for you, little Jason. So we should do an episode on it. I agree completely. That's going on the list.
That's a great one. My dad would agree.
Yeah.
He loves that too. Also, I love just the fact of like, I know this was my past life. And I know that's because I've shared about my past lives before.
Yes. I know. I love the weirdos.
I love the weirdos. Okay. So this one is from yours truly, Anna, or Ahna, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Would you ever consider doing a history of each other? That's so cute.
I literally had that never even crossed my mind.
Yeah, like if we shared like, oh, I did my research on Andrew.
Oh my gosh.
That would be interesting, especially if we couldn't ask the other person for help.
Right.
If we had to be like digging into documents and asking family members things.
That's so interesting. We could be like a true historian and like interviewing primary subjects.
Yes, exactly.
That's a good question.
I really like that. Would you consider it to answer her question?
Yeah, we didn't even answer the question. Yeah, I'd consider it for sure.
Yeah.
We'd have to like think about it and like really go about it in an interesting way. But I'm very interested in pursuing that.
I think that could be a really cute or fun activity for couples in general.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure who would want to hear our histories.
I get at least one person.
Thank goodness.
At least Anna or Anna.
At least one.
Yeah. All right. The next question comes from Caitlin Montgomery.
It's actually Caitlin Montgomery.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
If you could be any animal, what would you be and why?
Classic. Love this question.
You go first.
A horse.
That's a horse. I'd be an eagle.
Oh. Do you think we'd be friends?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'd land on your back and be like, ride.
America.
America, yeah. And then I'd like fly.
I just, why an eagle?
I want to fly.
We want to fly?
Yeah, I think it's so cool. And also when you're an eagle, like,
no one's messing with you.
Yeah, no other bird's going to mess with you.
That's a good one to choose.
Yeah.
I think spiritually, I enjoy the idea of flight, yet physically, I'm afraid of heights. So that's why I did not choose something airborne.
That's so true. That hey, you know yourself well enough to say that.
Like, it's a great idea, but I think I'd be scared.
But you have wings.
Delta gets scared to fly.
I know she does.
Yeah,
Poor thing.
Poor little guy. I chose a horse because I've always been obsessed with them.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's a negative connotation of a horse girl. I don't know if I was one. I don't think so. Maybe a little bit.
Maybe if you're like too obsessed. I guess it's like with bird people.
Bird people are weird.
Yeah.
And we have a bird. We've interacted with bird people. But it's still like, I don't care. Like, that's your passion. I think that's adorable.
Yeah, exactly. You're not hurting anyone. You're like helping, if anything, like animals.
Yeah. But I've always loved horses. I did have a really cool opportunity to take some horseback riding lessons as a kid. I'm not a horseback rider now, but I would like to again as an adult. I'm a Sagittarius too. So half horse, a centaur. And I think for me, horses represent freedom.
Yeah.
I just picture being able to run like a horse, like through an open field with all my horsey friends. And that would be so beautiful.
Yeah. I think that would be so much fun.
And then my friend Andrew the eagle, like flying down.
Yeah, and if I see any like predators, I can go.
Yeah, you can warn us.
Yeah, exactly. And
we've got this down.
We got it down, baby. We got it down. Okay.
Great question. So we now have Stinky Devil.
I love these names.
Has asked, any new trips with the Weirdos planned? Okay, so...
Oh, boy.
We had... This one repeats, so the next time we see it, we could skip.
Yeah.
A few folks asked about trips because, for those who may not know, we had been approached by a company that helps host trips for creators at Trova Trip.
Yeah.
And they were really helpful in getting us to like survey our audience and giving us options and packages and things like that. And we had picked, based on the Weirdos' requests, a trip to Italy. A Weirdo trip to Italy.
It would have happened last year in April.
Last spring, that's right. But unfortunately, we didn't get enough folks sign up. We had... Technically, yes, but not all at the same time.
Right. We had more, we needed at least 10 people, and we had more than 10 people, but then folks canceled, and then, so we never had, a quorum.
We never had a consistent 10.
Yeah.
And because of that, they had Trova Trip, that's just their policy,
right.
Pulls the trip because there's a minimum that we need to meet. So we would love to, if enough folks would sign up, we would love to do a trip. What was really cool about this, too, was... everything was planned and we had guides and we were going to explore the countryside even. So it was a fun trip for us.
Yeah, it would have been so much fun.
Our job really would have been to get to know the people on the trip and to make sure everyone's having a good time. And we would love to do something like that in the future. But
I want overwhelming demand for it before going all in.
I think that's fair because it does take a lot of work to set it up.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's something that perhaps it was that Europe felt really far or expensive or inaccessible for some reason.
Quite, yeah.
So if there's a trip that stands out that the Weirdos would like to do, let us know.
That's not a bad idea, yeah.
Yeah, if we get an overwhelming amount of requests.
I know, that was...
we could do it.
Yeah, I think so.
But we need some sort of certainty that people want to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I know my friend Whitey. Hi, Whitey. I know she listens sometimes. She wanted us to do the Northeast here in the States and do an American history trip.
I think that would be a lot more accessible.
For a lot of people, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, most of the Weirdos are Americans.
Yes.
So.
Yes. And she's a teacher, so she also requests that we do it in June or July.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, when school's out, it's not a bad idea. We're open to doing something in the U.S. I thought when we originally were approached with this that Mexico would be a fun one.
Yeah, because it's fairly affordable and it's close. And
so
it's
much history.
So much fun.
So much fun. So we could do the States, we could do Mexico, we could do Europe. You let us know, weirdos.
Yeah, or Southeast Asia. That'd be fun too.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah. Okay, next question. This is perfect that I'm reading it. So Emily Reed, 80. She asked, how much caffeine does Andrew take in the daily?
With a laughing emoji, because she knows
It's a lot.
you're a bit of a crackhead.
I'm a little
That's what
bit...
Emily's telling us.
Okay, crackhead is a strong word here. More like a caffeine head. And that is fair assessment. I am a caffeine head. Literally, look at this. If you're watching on YouTube or Spotify, that's right. I have my iced coffee. Oh my God, I do. Guys, I love caffeine, okay? It's my drug of choice. It's a pretty... I'm not even answering the question.
You're not. You're just like
I'm just going
hyped.
off on it. I'm like hyped and I'm like, you know what? I drink a lot, okay? I don't care. Not a lot of booze, just a lot of caffeine. I genuinely don't know even how to answer that because it's like, I would guess at least like 300 milligrams a day. No, maybe not at least. I'd say on average.
Emily,
That's like 3 cups of coffee.
you bring up a great question because
Oh, God.
I have pointed out to Andrew that he is using caffeine to self-medicate his
My
ADHD.
This is 100% true.
Which, if you have ADHD, welcome, as do we. Mine is, not to brag, but mine's more severe than Andrew's.
Yeah. Oh, my God. It's
It's super severe.
It is, but she's medicated.
But I'm medicated. Also, people are always surprised, but I think I'm largely the inattentive type. So I'm not hyperactive, but I'm inattentive. It's a really good quality to have in a therapist. And a lot of people with ADHD self-medicate.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
caffeine doesn't get us wired necessarily. It just makes our brains feel like they're awake.
Yeah,
So a lot of people self-medicate. I think that's what you're doing.
definitely.
I've tried to have interventions. It hasn't worked so far. So thank you, Emily, for bringing this up.
And it will not continue to work.
Okay, next question is from Kylie B1. Out of all of your episodes, which weirdo would you pick to live a day in their life?
That's such a good question.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay,
Which
one
weirdo?
immediately comes to my mind. That is T.E. Lawrence.
Oh, that makes sense.
Not when he's imprisoned because he goes through some harrowing stuff there, but when he's just like riding around, like overthrowing the Ottomans,
That's
like with his buddies, like in the Arab community. Man, like, yes, sign me up.
that's you.
That's me. It's like he's like a true revolutionary, and he's helping the people like overthrow an autocratic regime. It's beautiful.
I love that. I have to look
That's
at our
like
episodes. Hold
my
on.
ancestors that fought in the American Revolution are so proud of me right now. That's definitely them like coming through.
Hold on. Let me see. I have to look at our episodes.
Oh, you know who you would be?
Who?
Aqua Tofana.
Aqua Tofana?
The woman who's
Do
the
you mean Juliana?
yeah, Juliana Tofana, right?
I think their poison was called Aqua Tofana.
Yes, exactly.
The poisoner?
The poisoner. I'm like, it's you,
That's
girl.
a really good one. I
Because she only killed like bad men, right?
think so.
Okay, well,
Well, who knows?
yeah, who knows? Maybe not.
I am looking at our episodes and remembering that we have an episode on Dolores del Rio.
Oh, that's a good one.
I would love to be that beautiful, rich, and famous for a day.
Oh, okay. You know who also would be kind of low key?
Who?
Oh, this is bad though to say.
No.
Porfirio Rubirosa.
Oh my gosh, no, he was a scoundrel.
He was such a scoundrel.
You would not be him.
Just for like a day, one of his fun days.
Ooh, or I've said this to you before. Again, I'm looking at our episodes. I would love to be a Vestal Virgin for a day.
Oh, that would be fun. Yeah.
I'd love to see what does a day in the life of a Vestal Virgin look like.
Right. Or I mean, just because like I could see Rome during their time, like Tiberius or Gaius Gracchus.
Oh.
I wouldn't want to be there for the end of their days, but
Right.
like just in kind of like being a rabble rouser in like in the Roman Forum. Oh my God, so cool.
Yeah. I think we have our answers then.
Yeah, and it's okay. Side note, it's really funny, but guys, like people will be like, "Oh, I loved your episode on something," and I'll be like, "Wow, I totally forgot I did that episode." All the time. We have over 150 now.
It's because we have so many, and
they go back years.
Yeah, and we actually like still talk about them years after. So it's like, and we talk about history a lot together. So sometimes I forget if we did an episode on that subject or not.
Right, exactly.
Or if it's just like something we've talked about.
Yeah.
Running a business comes with a lot of what ifs, but luckily there's a simple answer to them. Shopify. It's the commerce platform behind millions of businesses, including Thrive Cosmetics and Momofuku, and it'll help you with everything you need. From website design and marketing to boosting sales and expanding operations, Shopify can get the job done and make your dream a reality. Turn those what ifs into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Having trouble hearing in work meetings? Eventually you zone out. You've missed too much to catch up now. Get your confidence back with Nuance Audio.
Don't worry, I just spoke with the sales office, and they assured me the order has already been processed.
The new invisible hearing solution that's built into your glasses. Nuance Audio glasses help you hear better and reduce background noise, so you can tune into your meetings all day long. Learn more at nuanceaudio.com.
Lights, camera, innovation. Walt Disney Studios chose advanced 5G solutions from T-Mobile for Business to transform the movie-making process. Together, we kept a remote production hub in Hawaii and sync with a team in California to bring Lilo and Stitch to theaters this summer. This is picture-perfect collaboration. This is Walt Disney Studios with T-Mobile for Business. Take your business further at T-Mobile.com/now.
So that was Kylie's question.
That's Kylie's question.
My love, you read the next one.
Yes. So, Rotten Banari. I love these names, guys.
Bananari, I think.
So, have dinner with 5 random historical figures at In-N-Out. Who would the group be? That's such an amazing question.
I love that they put In-N-Out because that's your favorite.
I love In-N-Out. I mean, it's been like one of my favorite It's been my favorite fast food since I was like, third grade.
That's so cute.
I haven't.
And for folks who, I think everyone knows more or less, but In-N-Out is like a California staple fast food.
And that is something, that's a hill I'll die on. I love In-N-Out. Like, In-N-Out slander will not be tolerated.
He's looking at me because I like In-N-Out. It's just not my favorite.
Divorce. Okay, no. Let me think about this. So 5 random historical, who's the group? Okay, so we got to throw in, I want to do like a really diverse group here. So, you know what I would love to have is like, you got to have like an ancient Roman. So my guy, look at the shirt I'm wearing. Mm-hmm. Maybe you can't. Maybe you can see it. Maybe you can't. I don't know.
It's Julius Caesar.
It's Julius Caesar. So he has to be there. Mm-hmm. Like he's in there. He's in there for sure. I also would love to have like a priestess from like Babylon.
From Babylon.
That would be really interesting. I'd like to throw her in like Bronze Age Babylon. Throw her in there. I would also
You don't want the Pythia?
Oh my God, that's even in addition to her, I would probably want the Pythia as well. So that's 3. I want to throw in Genghis Khan.
Oh yeah.
Because he's just like insane and like he and Caesar would get along really well, I think. And then you know what? Probably Theodore Roosevelt.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, that would be a wild combination of people.
I'm so surprised you didn't say Zenobia.
Oh, Zenobia would. I mean, it's too hard.
Yeah.
Zenobia would be also a great one. And also Boudica, who we've both done episodes on.
Yes, exactly. So you have your 5?
Those are my 5.
And you're all at In-N-Out together?
Yeah, we're all at In-N-Out together.
That would be really interesting.
Yeah.
Sight to see. I think I would pick.
Oh, also, sorry. Substitution for the Babylonian priestess would probably be Akhenaten.
The heretic king.
The heretic king, yeah.
We just talked about him.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it. Heretics are good.
Yeah. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
I would definitely have Anne Boleyn.
That's a good one.
I would definitely have Cleopatra.
Oh, yeah.
This is already a really cool group. I could just hang out with
this
them.
This is a great group.
I would definitely have Yasuke.
Yasuke, yes.
What an interesting life, and we know so little about what happened to him after. I'd be like, how'd you get there? For sure. Like, what was it like? What did you do after? So many questions for Yasuke. So those are 3. And then I would probably add... Think. I can't think on the spot.
It's hard.
They're making me nervous. They're so demanding.
There's like no one here. It's just us in the studio. The imaginary weirdo crowd. Just don't picture like thousands of people right here staring at you. Don't do that.
Oh my God. Malitzen, aka La Malinche.
That's a good one.
Very misunderstood character. I like controversial women. Obviously, that's a big theme here. Plus Yasuke. Controversial women plus Yasuke. And then let's see, who else? You know, I would really love for Hadrian to come.
Yes. That's a great group right there. That would be, they would be ballin'.
Yeah. I think we would have to go like party in WeHo or something together though. Not be at In-N-Out.
That's true.
And I'd have to start drinking again. I have no choice.
Oh my God. Just for that one night only.
Just for that one night only.
That's true.
That's a great question. And then this is another question from Rotten Bananari.
Banana.
Any other places you want to travel?
Oh, so many.
But the one that comes to mind for both of us is Greece.
Yeah.
We haven't been to Greece.
We haven't been to Greece. We haven't been to Egypt.
Yeah.
Like those are 2 places that like immediately pop in my head. I also really want to go to Mongolia.
Yes, that's a big one on the list.
Like the steppe. I need to go.
Yeah, I want some Mongolian barbecue.
Apparently, like according to like 23andMe, and I know they're in hot water right now, but one of the cool features is like you can see like who some of like your ancestors were like.
That's something we've been meaning to tell the weirdos.
Yeah.
That we have ancestors that were both at the St. Bryce's Day massacre.
Yeah, they weren't the same ancestors.
And they weren't the same.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
But yeah, like actual like documented like Viking ancestors that were massacred 1,000 years ago.
And I have the Mayan sacrifice ancestors.
Yeah.
All of my ancestors were like dark deaths.
I was going to say there was the only ancestor that I had that was kind of like way out there by himself was one from present-day Kyrgyzstan, which is like in, again, like the Eurasian steppe. And he was like a Scythian probably or a steppe person.
Isn't that cool?
That's so cool.
Yeah. I think in addition to what you've shared, I have told you I really, really want to go visit Kenya.
Oh, that's a great one.
I really want to see it and experience so much while we're there. So that's a long list. Oh my God.
I mean, and also I've never been to South America.
Peru.
Yeah. Like,
Peru
I mean,
would be
all
great.
of
You've
South
never
America.
been to Argentina.
Mm-mm.
Brazil would be cool. We could go to that priest's raves.
Oh my God, I want to see the priest. And I want to go do the, like...
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that answers your question, Rotten Banana.
Yeah. So, okay, then what are... Oh, this is from Francesca Nicole, 808. What are your top 3 favorite books
That's a
for each of us?
difficult one.
That's so hard. I mean, these are so difficult because I don't even know. Like, my 3 favorite history books.
No, I think it's books.
That's too hard. I can't. I don't think I could answer that. I can answer my top 3 history books.
Okay, start with that. I'm listening. I'm also just looking at my Goodreads.
Even the history books is tough. So I'd say we interviewed him on the podcast, but Norman Ohler wrote a book called Tripped. And it was like the intersection of the CIA, LSD, and the Nazi Party. And that was an incredible read. I'd say that's probably...
You devoured that one.
I so quickly, I binged it. And then I binged it so much that I was like, oh, we got to have him on the podcast. So yeah, if you're interested in hearing what he had to say, you can go to that episode.
Very cool, man.
Very cool, dude. So I'd say Tripped. That's probably one of them. There's so many Roman history books I've read. It's like really sad, actually. I'm not even like a history major or anything. I'd say, but one of them that I reread recently was The Storm Before the Storm.
Mm-hmm.
And
you love that
one.
One.
Details like the first half of the late Roman Republic, from like the fall of Carthage and Corinth to I think right before Spartacus's uprising. So that time period is so underrated in Roman history. It's ridiculous. And it just gave me an entirely new appreciation for that time period. Same with Tripped, actually, in the post-World War II era. That's like become one of my newer favorite like eras of history.
And your third book?
And my third book is... God, that's really tough.
This is hard.
This one's really hard.
I resent this question.
It's a good question, but yeah. Okay. Probably SBQR by Mary Beard. It's another Roman history. You have to read it. It details like what she calls like the first millennium Romans, from like the very beginning of Roman society to basically when Caracalla gave everyone citizenship in the empire.
It was a big move.
Yeah, and which kind of like ends the classical age, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
So that, I mean, it's iconic, and it's iconic for a reason because it's so good. I'd say that's probably like my third.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 Roman books, of course.
2.
Yeah.
Mine would be The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller.
Oh, it's so good.
So good.
Tatiana, our video and audio editor, she just sent us a message that her husband's reading that right now.
Really?
Yeah, and it was like, he has like elite taste.
He's going to sob, Tatiana. If he doesn't, he has no soul.
Oh my God. Good thing she married him.
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. He has a soul. Okay, sorry. What's really sweet about that book, it's extra special to me, I think, because, I mean, the writing is so beautiful and lyrical, but my little sister loves the book, and we've both reread it multiple times, so it's like something we bond over.
Yeah.
Hi, Sophia. She's 16. She's really cool. She's like, you guys don't talk about me enough on the podcast. And then my dad said, how would you know? You never listened.
Oh.
So maybe she's listening. Sorry. Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This is a book that I love. The next one I love, and I reread it every few years. It's very short. It is Chronicle of a Death Foretold by Gabriel Garcia Marquez.
Mm-hmm.
It's short, unlike 100 Years of Solitude, which is a chunky one. This one is brief, and every time I read it, I pick up on new things. It's a mystery, kind of.
I love those types of books.
Yeah. My copy is from high school, and it's like full of notes. Like,
yeah, I mean, he was a brilliant writer.
He was so good. I love him so much. So that's 2. And then 3, I'm going to cheat.
Ooh.
It's the Six of Crows duology.
Oh, I mean, especially the first one was so good.
Yeah. But I'm cheating because they go together. The story's not over. So it's a duology.
Fair enough. And also it's not history.
No.
Tied to history at all.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I love it. She didn't say history books.
That's true.
I just interpreted it as history books.
Because I had to. I was like, I have ADHD.
None of mine are actual history books. They're all fiction.
Oh, I guess, yeah. Like Song of Achilles obviously is fiction, but like rooted in ancient oral tradition.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay. Oh, you.
Me. Now me?
Yeah, you.
Okay. From Grunge Mania. What is the best meal you've had on a vacation?
I already know your answer. I know your answer.
Say it.
Cacio e pepe in Rome.
Cacio e pepe in Rome.
I mean, it's phenomenal. There's only been one restaurant that we've ever been to outside of Rome that had immaculate cacio e pepe.
Yeah, uovo.
Uovo, yeah, which uses like it literally like flies in Italian ingredients.
But it doesn't taste the same if it's not in Rome.
That's true because you're in Rome. When in Rome, right?
Where did we go? Oh, I forgot the name of the restaurant, but we'll probably go back. There's 2 in Rome, and we went to the one that was closest to our Airbnb. We went without a reservation, and we were like, we really, really want to eat here. Everyone says it's so good. Can you please seat us? And they were like, yes, in the basement. And we're like, well, deal, we'll take it.
Yeah, and like the basement, it was like a wine cellar.
It was beautiful.
And there's like other people there too, so it was like.
But they made it seem like, ooh, you're gonna have to sit like next to some brooms and some cleaning supplies,
which we would have done.
But that was immaculate cacio e pepe. And it's like one of my favorite dishes ever.
You know what's funny? I don't even know my answer for this question.
Well, I could go on. I'd say I also...
Of course you could. Of course you could.
I also loved the lasagna that I had at Alfredo Eada in Rome.
Oh my God.
Best lasagna I've ever had in my life.
We're going to be there next week.
I know.
Well, by the time you're listening to it, we've already been there.
It's the future now.
The future is now.
And then if anyone is ever in the state of Michoacan, in Mexico, you need to try carnitas. You're not going to eat anything like it outside of Michoacan, unless my tío Miguel is making it.
Or your mom.
No.
Oh.
She doesn't know I don't think she knows how to make carnitas.
Really?
Maybe she does, but it requires like a big fryer thing.
Oh, okay. So it's like, it's very specific to that region.
Yeah.
Michoacan, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sorry. You should also answer.
I should answer, yes. It's funny though, like, I think it's your mom's cooking. But it's not on vacation.
It's not on vacation,
I know, but like, it's some of the best food I've ever had. That's a tough question for me.
Yeah.
Because
a meal on vacation.
I would say like on our honeymoon in Bali, those breakfasts that we had were so good at the Kamandalu. Yeah, it was like really good. It was just like an American breakfast, but it was in Bali. And this is so embarrassing.
Andrew has peasant taste buds.
I know.
Guys.
It was so good though. Like I was like surprised because the food wasn't great.
Andrew likes Kraft cheese, you guys.
No, that is not true. That is not true. I did when I was a kid. Not anymore. How dare you? I like the Sargento.
Oh, very.
I know, very much better. I know, not much better.
I'm trying to think.
But okay,
for you, what have you been like? Oh my God.
I mean, in Italy, there were so many options. Even the cacio e pepe. I don't know if it's like my number one overall, but it was so memorable that I was like, yes, this is incredible. Just every single pasta dish I had there, I was like, oh my God, this is so good. I was like crying because I was so happy. Let me think though. What are other places? I mean, whenever we go to Mexico, any place we get tacos in Mexico.
He's a simple creature.
I really am. I don't require a whole lot.
I do. High maintenance.
Yeah, you're much more high maintenance.
For food? Yes.
Yeah.
That's the point of travel. You get to eat nummies from other places. Okay,
true.
Sorry, I'm getting too
you're
intense.
getting way too into the food here. Okay, going to the next question. I think it's me. This is from Villier123. So now that History for Weirdos is back from hiatus, how are you both feeling compared to pre-hiatus? That is so the sweetest question. Thank you so much. No one's ever asked us that.
That's so nice.
I feel so much better. I think we were really burnt out.
Yeah, we had pushed ourselves past burnout.
We had. So we were like back pre-hiatus, we were doing an episode every single week, and I had a full-time job at the time that was just soul crushing. And then now
I obviously have my business and I was teaching.
Exactly. So it was just really, really tough. And so coming back, having a little bit of a better cadence, I think every other week works a lot better for us.
Just in the season of life, at least.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean that we won't go back to every week at some point in the future. It just for right now, I think this is just what we need.
Yeah, we would need...
I think we need a lot, like more of a robust team.
Yeah.
And that can't really happen until I get a job again.
Weirdos. If anyone knows.
Weirdos, if anyone knows anything in like go-to-market, sales strategy and operations, or like account management, especially in cybersecurity, but not necessarily, could be a SaaS job. I'm your man. Like, I am your man.
Hire him, please.
Please. But yeah, so.
And that's what we would want to do when Andrew gets a job as well.
Is hire our team.
We want to invest more in the podcast so it can continue to grow. We want Sam back.
I know.
We had Sam. He's my virtual assistant for my private practice.
And he was kind of like our operations manager for the show.
I feel like Sam is the operations manager of my brain.
He kind of is.
Thank God it's not me.
Yeah.
So I'd love to have Sam back. We really want to hire someone to do like funny edits of us.
Yeah.
Like making fun of us even. And like
Yeah, what did someone cancer edit? Is what a term that was thrown out, not from us.
We did not create this term.
Like, trust us. Like, I've had grandparents die from cancer, so like,
we're not making cancer light here.
We're not making cancer light, but it is kind of funny.
That's what they're called.
Exactly. Like cancer edits. That would be really, really funny. So
I think we should call them unhinged edits.
Unhinged edits. Yeah, that's the history for Weirdos.
Yeah.
Version. Yeah.
Weirdo edits.
Weirdo edits. Yeah, so if
trademark,
if anyone watching or listening to us wants to do like just unhinged weirdo edits, like feel free and let us know, and we'll come to like an arrangement
once we have money.
Once I get hired. That's right.
That's right. Because another weirdo is going to hire you. That's what's going to happen. So yes, to answer that question, wow, we went off. I think we both feel a lot better.
Yes. So much better.
We missed you.
Yeah, we really missed like the show. That was something that was like we were both like, wow. We were so surprised at how much we missed it, despite like the crazy burnout that we had previously.
Yeah, we thought it would just feel like relief so that we could catch up with our lives, but it was like some relief because we had more time. But it was also like, wow, we miss our friends.
It was like empty. There was like this empty feeling.
Yeah.
That now is filled with you guys. Yeah.
Yay. Okay. So the next would be from Solitary Creature. Says, will you do more trips? We answered that one.
Yeah, will you do more trips to cool places in the world that will include the Weirdos? Maybe. Hopefully. It's up to you guys.
It's up to you guys. So let me skip that.
Yeah.
Let me go to A. Rustin. How do you find your episode topics? Also, how is Perry?
Aw.
Okay, Perry's at home right now. He's very sad that he is at home and he's not here, but he would be a menace.
Oh, he would. Like, these cameras are really expensive.
He would destroy them.
Yeah, I would be really afraid of having him in here. He's a rambunctious boy, but he's a good boy.
He's a good boy because he's really sweet and loving, but he has a lot of energy, and he kind of reminds us of Stitch from Lilo and Stitch when he's in his, like, destructive mode.
We call it his dingo mode.
Because he looks like a dingo.
He looks like an Australian dingo.
So
dingo ate your baby.
He's good. He's going to get lots of pets and love.
Yes.
I almost don't want to go to Italy because I'm going to miss him so much.
I know. Isn't that so sad?
Yeah. I love him so much. I don't know what I would ever do without him.
Yeah.
So,
but the first part of that question.
How do we find our episode topics? How do you find yours?
This sounds so funny. I will, like, sometimes we get a lot of recommendations from you guys, and sometimes we compile them in a huge list. Like, we have a repository of a ton. So sometimes I'll just peruse and be like, oh, like, this person said I should do an episode on this topic. And so I'll actually use it. So if you have suggestions, like, please, like, let us know. Like,
that's where I got the idea for Nellie Bly.
Yes, exactly. But sometimes we'll just be like watching stuff, and then I'm like, like how the Wyatt Earp episode, we were watching this like documentary on Netflix, and I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. I'm doing an episode on this. Or King Tut, like it was almost like a passing thing. I was like, I should do an episode on that.
Yeah, it was mentioned on a TV show or something. And then I think I said to you, I was like, you should do King Tut.
Yes. Yeah. Like literally it's our ADHD sometimes actually helps out.
Yes.
And we'll be like, oh, you should do an episode. You have to write it down though.
Yes.
Or else I'll forget.
Yes. I'd say listener recommendations is probably one of the biggest ones.
Yeah.
As well as like just stumbling upon things like I see like Nat Geo at the grocery store.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's a good idea.
Oh, I love Nat Geo.
Or
sponsor us.
Yeah, sponsor us. Or I'm reading something and it's kind of like almost like a lightning bolt moment of inspiration. Mm-hmm. And then I have to write it down. I've forgotten many an episode topic idea in the past. But yeah, I guess our inspiration, we do not lack in ideas.
No, that is one thing. We have a million ideas. It's more
organization of those ideas.
And execution. Yeah.
Yes.
It's amazing this podcast has gone this far, this big, that you guys are listening to us or watching us because
we're honored.
We were so honored, first of all. And it's amazing, but I'm just surprised we could pull it off.
Same.
Like.
Always. I don't know who did that.
Yeah. Our past us, I'm kind of like impressed.
I am too, and I'm grateful.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon Business. How can you free up your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business empowers leaders to not only streamline purchasing, but better support their teams so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more about the technology, insights, and support available at amazonbusiness.com.
This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Healthcare professionals can lead their careers with LinkedIn. Discover jobs by specialty, preferred shifts, and even desired salary. From mental health therapists to radiology technicians, it's now faster and easier for healthcare professionals to find the right fit. Learn more at linkedin.com/healthcare. Side effects may include faster job placement, improved work-life balance, and increased career satisfaction.
We off? 30 seconds of carefree bliss.
Oof, like wind in your hair carefree.
Oh, like using Clorox Disinfecting All-Purpose Cleaner in the home carefree.
Yes!
Like dog slobbing on the coffee table and cleaning it with Clorox Carefree.
He's on a roll now.
Spit toothpaste on the faucet.
You got it. You got it.
Peanut butter on the light switch.
Oh, spritz.
Spritz. Clorox, man. Clean feels good.
Okay, we're back.
Use as directed.
Okay, so the next question from Danny Swank is, do you want your dog to take care of you in old age or a kid? Controversial, in parentheses. Well, ideally both. Pericles, though, I don't know if he's going to last that long, you know? That's the sad thing.
So I have this toxic trait where...
Yeah, it's a toxic trait, all right.
Where I just start to really, like, grieve and mourn Perry when I'm hugging him.
Baby.
And I couldn't actually cry thinking about... I don't want to cry right now. Thinking about a time when he won't be around. Don't laugh at me.
It's too late, babe.
Oh, he's the love of my life. He's like a soul mate dog.
He kind of is. I will agree with you on that. I don't think I've ever felt this way about like a dog, an animal, as I haven't. Like, I mean, and I grew up with dogs. Like, I'd say the closest was probably my very, very first dog when I was like a little kid, because that dog like looked after me.
Brigitte.
She was almost like a
big sister?
guardian, yeah, like a big sister.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's crazy is Brigitte was born in the 80s.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he was meant to be ours.
Yeah, he was born, like he came into this life to be our dog.
Yep. I'm not gonna get too emotional thinking about it.
Okay.
So he's gonna live forever, so I do think he will be taking care of us in his old age, our old age.
Let's go with that.
And actually, we talk about this all the time. We really want to set up our lives, our like financial health, our physical health, our mental health, so that if we have a kid, they are not expected to take care of us.
Yeah.
That's our goal.
That's like, really our goal.
We want our adult child to be in our lives because they want to be.
Yes.
And because it brings them joy.
Like we don't want to be the type of parents that like force our kid to be in our life. We just want them to like choose it because that's what they want.
Yeah, no sense of obligation.
Yeah.
Which everyone is different. I don't even want to say there's like a right or wrong way to do things.
Right.
But that's something that we've talked about a lot. Which I guess it is controversial. And there's like different cultural expectations and things like that. But
right, yeah.
In our own little family culture that we're trying to build, we would want no one to have to take care of us.
Exactly.
Because we've been smart and set ourselves up so that that doesn't have to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Or no, you got this one.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Presley Rutledge says, where do you both see yourselves in 10 years' time? And what do you hope to have achieved?
Oh my goodness. Well, hopefully this podcast is listened to by and watched by millions of people every single week.
You know what I thought of?
What?
That cute little clip of Elmo on Chicken Shop Date where he's like, "Fi, your plan. Elmo doesn't know what he's going to do in the next 5 minutes."
Yeah.
That's me.
That's probably the real answer, to be honest with you, is like, it's tough. Like it's hard for me to even think 5 years out.
Okay. So you are 33.
So I'd be 43.
I'd be 42. I would like at 42 to be having a lot of fun.
Oh my God.
I was like,
Are you like a child?
I want good snacks. I want
Yummy
good party
treats.
times, yummy treats. No, I would want us to have like our family established.
Definitely be parents by that time.
I'd want us to be traveling a lot, and I'd want us to have built a really good foundation of like systems that support a life where we could be more location independent.
That's a great way of putting it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the achievement I want.
I want that, and I do want a PhD in ancient history.
I want a PhD too.
Yeah, I think we both. We're
But mine
probably
wouldn't be
not going to do it here in the U.S.
No, mine would not be in history.
No.
Shocker to everybody.
Mine, yeah, yours would actually be serious and for like a career, and
Yours
mine would.
is serious too.
That's true. Yeah.
Any PhD is serious, and
That's
it's your
true.
passion.
It's a passion, yeah. Like this would be not for me to like, when you go back to school to get your MBA, that's for money, right?
Yeah.
This would be for the love of the game, baby.
Yeah. By 43, do you want to have completed it, or do you want to be starting it?
I want to at least be somewhere in the process of either getting it or hopefully have gotten it. But I'd be satisfied with just like in that process.
Me too.
Even if it's the beginning of it.
Me too. Even if I just started and I'm 42, I'm like, great. Because I don't think it's ever too late to go back to school.
Yeah, never.
And I would like to get my PhD in psychology or something related. So potentially social work or social sciences, because that's my background.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it would be cool if I could weave in like history into my dissertation.
I think that would be really interesting.
Yeah.
It'd be multifaceted.
So I think that's probably like the big children and PhDs are the big concrete achievements. And then hopefully location independence.
Yeah.
So we could travel.
That's the big one.
I think it would be in Europe.
Probably.
Yeah.
I want to live in Rome.
Yeah.
I know that was like something we talk about as like a retirement plan or like a retirement age thing, but maybe sooner.
Maybe. Who knows? Let's manifest it.
Okay, so awkward gay for life. I love that.
Amazing.
He said, would y'all ever do a Disney episode? I love the podcast. Well, thank you, first of all.
Thank you.
Second of all, I don't know if we would. I feel like that's a question more geared towards you. Like maybe the history of the Disney company.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they would sue us.
Oh, yeah. Probably. But I think there's actually... Andrew's really good at Mickey Mouse. My uncle Danny, who married us,
yeah,
he's really good at Donald Duck. He like does Donald Duck's voice exactly.
Oh, we should have him on the podcast
just
for that
one.
episode.
Not to talk about like his military career
No.
or what it's like being a deacon.
No.
Do the Donald Duck voice, Uncle Danny.
I'd be like, oh, okay.
I love Disney. I don't think I'm a Disney adult necessarily.
No, I don't think so. But you do have an appreciation for it for sure.
Yeah, it brings me a lot of joy. So I think that you could do like an episode on the history of the company, but also a lot of the films have really interesting histories. Even just the history of the park could be really cool.
Oh, the history of like Disneyland and Disney World.
Yeah.
And then how it's even expanded.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
great idea.
That's a good idea, yeah.
I am going to consider this.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, my turn?
Yeah, your turn.
This one's from Levi Sanford. Do you
I know
him?
him.
Yeah. This is Andrew's brother.
Yeah.
How often does Andrew actually think about the fall of Rome?
Literally on a daily basis. And I'm looking directly at the camera. She can attest.
Oh, yeah.
I think about it on a daily basis because it is the parallels between today and like the late Roman Republic are so palpable.
It's scary.
And I use palpable as a little double entendre.
Like Palpatine?
Exactly.
Emperor Palpatine?
Yeah.
Levi would appreciate that.
Yeah.
That one's for you, Levi.
That one's for you, man.
Okay, you read the next one.
Okay, so Angela Bisteline asked, from what era of history do you think the most interesting and unique religious ideas are from?
Oh, snap.
That's a great question. That's hard to say because, like, part of me really... Ancient history is probably, for me personally, is going to, like, take the cake on that one. Mm-hmm. Just because, like, in ancient history... Okay, what do you have? You have the Egyptian pantheon. You have the Middle Eastern pantheon, right? Like specifically... like Babylon, and even before
Mesopotamia?
Yes, Mesopotamia. Thank you. Like Sumer,
Mm-hmm.
like the Sumerian, and then that just morphs throughout like the entirety of the Bronze Age. You even have like the Greek pantheon later on, but even before that, or maybe even during that time, you have I'm forgetting
Zoroastrian?
Yeah, Zoroastrian. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We did do an episode on Zarathustra.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, there's that. You do have the Greek pantheon and the Roman pantheon. And that's just that's in the BC era, right? And then you even have the emergence of Christianity, like early Christianity, which is so different than present day Christianity.
Very different. I think that's probably a really interesting era to look into.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd have to say, I mean, it has to be the ancient history.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what is fascinating to me.
Yeah, those are really good. I think you are really good in general at seeing things through such a macro lens.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. It almost feels like my brain's like not big enough to like look at all of those things at the same time.
No, I'm just so hyper fixated. My brain is not that big.
I would think a little more specific. I really think the time period, and you could tell me what years this is.
Yeah.
The time period where in Rome, Christianity and paganism are sort of duking it out.
Ooh, that's a great question.
One is dying and the other's coming to power.
4th century.
I think that's fascinating.
That's a really interesting time period too, and it's really slept on.
Mm-hmm.
I had the idea that the 4th century Romans were poor. That's not true. That is a fallacy that I think we have been taught, because it's not.
Because so many people blame Christianity
exactly
with the fall of Rome.
4th century Romans were actually quite rich. In fact, I just listened to another podcast on this, The Ancients, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
And it might have been Lloyd Llewellyn Jones was talking about how
I love him.
I know, me too. About how the 4th century Romans, they're a lot more prosperous, like I said, but they were also a lot more numerous. Like some of the populations were at its peak during that time period. And this comes after a very, very strenuous 3rd century where there is there's disease, there's famine, there's war, there's invasions. Like the empire split apart, it's reunited. Aurelian, my boy.
Yeah.
And the 4th century is really interesting because you see at the beginning of the century, there's Christian persecutions under the rule of Diocletian, not necessarily perpetrated by Diocletian himself, but probably Maxentius, or maybe not Max, but whoever his co-ruler was, really hated Christians. And then you see that over time, very quickly, that paganism starts to go away. And with the rise of Constantine, he's not. My own personal opinion on Constantine is that it wasn't like he was a true believer. He just saw how the tide was coming in. And he's like, I want to align myself on the winning side. That's what I think he did.
Yeah.
And it's during that
Chris
time
Jenner
period.
did.
Yeah, exactly. During that time.
Constantine and Chris Jenner.
They're like, and yeah, and in that time period, you see the rise, really Christianity starting to overtake paganism. There is a brief period where they're kind of almost coexisting, but they are in their own way at that time period very mutually exclusive.
That's what I find so fascinating, is that it is obviously, and even today, a lot of people would see them as mutually exclusive. And I think what interests me about it is, growing up Catholic, I think they are so interwoven for me.
Mm-hmm.
Paganism and Christianity, that I just would love to study, what was it like when they were both still very present.
Yeah.
And kind of begrudgingly coexisting. I think that's fascinating. I think I've mentioned this on the podcast before. I also love spiritualism of the Victorian era.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's such a time of, this is what's proper, this is what's not proper. You think of Victorian era clothing for women is very stifling looking, very high collars.
Not how you're looking now.
Oh my gosh. Weirdos. Say something, do something. And yet, and very Christian, right?
Yes.
Very Protestant Christian.
Yes.
And yet they were obsessed with ghosts.
And the occult.
And I think that's so cool. I love when, I guess that's a theme. I love when two things that shouldn't go together are going together.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool and fun.
And you're right. I think that's a really good parallel to what was happening in the 4th century. Because especially, too, like, Christians were very popular during that time, even during the persecutions, because it's like, even with the pagans, they were like, wait a minute, what are you doing? Like, these people just, like, help the poor, and they, like, feed people. And it was the religion
They just, like, do nice things.
And, you know, it was derisively called earlier from that period, it was derisively called the religion of women and slaves.
And where are women now in the religion?
Oh.
You know, I have questions.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful question.
That was really good.
Let me see. Okay. We got to move on to the next slide.
And it's like a 2-parter.
1, are you guys going to do another trip? We answered this. I didn't get to go to the Italy one. Hopefully. And then 2, make a ship BFF list of weirdos you've covered. I think Nellie Bly and Alice Roosevelt equals BFFs. Who would you ship together and who do you think would be besties?
That's a really good idea.
I love this.
I think, and we can make it mutually, like, not mutually exclusive, but we can make them, like, the same.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Who do you think would be besties with Kudiyun?
Oh, with Kudiyun. I mean, ironically, I think Nellie Bly and Alice Roosevelt as well. That would be like a little trio, a little throuple there. Okay, but besides that, I also think this is a weird one.
No, you didn't answer my question. Aside from these two, who would be besties with Kudiyun?
No, I'm going to answer right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I said this is a weird one.
I thought you were going off.
No. I think they would be friends, but they're different. But I still think they would be friends. T.E. Lawrence.
I think they would get along.
Yeah, I think they would really get along just because they're different. Mm-hmm. They're both really different.
Who do you think would be besties with Akhenaten?
Oh. Probably someone else who was seen as real. Oh, you know what?
I thought of one.
Okay. Maud Wagner.
Oh,
the tattoo artist.
Really?
Or no, was she the, oh my God, was she the
She was the one covered in tattoos, yeah.
That's who I think.
You know who I thought of?
Who?
Olga of Kiev.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yes. Are there any that you ship that you think would be good romantic partners?
That one's a tougher one for me because I don't know.
That's so interesting, yeah.
And I'm literally forgetting all the episodes both of us have done.
That's why I had to pull it up.
Yeah, that's so smart of you.
Hatshepsut is one that we haven't mentioned yet. I don't know if you think I keep accidentally playing the episodes.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
Florence Nightingale. The One-Eyed Queen.
Oh, Amon-Arenas. She would be a really good one, actually, with probably another, but actually probably with Olga of Kiev. Both kind of like scorned by men. They had that in common.
Who do you think Locusta of Gaul would be friends with?
Oh, there we go. Guys, also, I have to say, it's a little side note. My Favorite Murder referenced us.
Have we not talked about that?
I don't know if we have. Like on the podcast.
Our brains.
I know, which is crazy. But yeah, My Favorite Murder, they referenced our episode on Locusta of Gaul, like in their episode, which I was really honored. And that was the farthest back they've ever gone.
Yeah. I think Locusta of Gaul would have taken...
Oh, Julia Tofana.
Yeah, they'd be friends.
Yeah.
And I think they would have taken Lady Jane Grey under their wing and protected her.
That one breaks my heart. Lady Jane Grey breaks my heart. I really hate everyone
the way her
involved.
Story ends.
Everyone who involved who
used her and then disposed of her.
Yeah, it really, really pisses me off, honestly.
Yeah. Okay.
America's beverage companies are investing in America. We're American companies, making American products with American workers in America's hometowns. We're local bottlers and manufacturers, operating in all 50 states, employing more than 275,000 Americans in good-paying jobs, delivering for the nation, because we believe in the promise of America and the people who make it great. Learn more at WeDeliverForAmerica.org. Paid for by the American Beverage Association.
Shopping is hard, right? But I found a better way. Stitch Fix online personal styling makes it easy. I just give my stylist my size, style, and budget preferences. I order boxes when I want and how I want. No subscription required. And he sends just for me pieces, plus outfit recommendations and styling tips. I keep what works and send back the rest. It's so easy. Make style easy. Get started today at stitchfix.com/Spotify. That's stitchfix.com/Spotify.
Home means something different to everyone. But with Rocket Mortgage, home can mean even more. It can mean a college education, taming your high-interest debt, even a renovation. We've made it easier than ever to use your home equity. That home you worked so hard for, now it can work hard for you. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to find out more.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Number 3030.
Do you read the next one or do I read the next one?
I read it.
I think you. Yeah. Go for it.
Oh, what state in Mexico is your family from? So Stephanie's. Mine's from Michoacán.
Michoacán. También de Michoacán. Michoacanas, purépechas, the baddies.
The baddies. There we go.
I was explaining to Andrew.
And that was from Olivia H.T., by the way.
Olivia, maybe we're primas.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, maybe we
You have like a million primas.
I do.
And primos.
My primos and I were explaining to Andrew that in Mexico, people are very, very regional. Like,
it's true.
You're very proud of your state. Like, there's so much state pride, and a lot of the states have their own cultures. Michoacán has a very large indigenous community of Purépecha people, which we've talked about in the Heréndira episode. And it's also it was a playground for a lot of pivotal parts of Mexican history.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's
okay.
True.
This is from Mallory B. Hardesty. If you get magically transported to a different historical era for one day, what are you doing?
Oh, that's such a great question. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
If I could pick, I'm probably going back to ancient Rome. I mean, I have to. I have to see Rome in its heyday. I want to see it in probably during the reign of Hadrian, maybe a little bit later, like around 150 AD.
So it's all beautiful and marble.
Yeah, it's at its peak. Like, it's going to look incredible. I'd probably go there. I'd go to the baths first thing in the morning because afterward they get nasty, right? And kind of just do what a typical Roman would do in a day.
Go to the forum.
Yeah, go to the forum. Maybe argue a case or something. I don't know. I think, and then obviously eat lunch at those fast food. They basically had fast food.
Yeah, yeah.
And
they had
food stands.
Yeah, where you could sit and they had the little hot plates almost.
Yeah, I mean in Pompeii there's been incredible archaeological discoveries with that. Probably do that, and then maybe go to a dinner party at night. Try to
at the palace.
Oh my god,
at the Imperial Palace.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if it's if it was 150, the emperor would be the guy that took over after Hadrian before Marcus Aurelius. Ironically, he's forgotten all the time.
Is it the Pius guy?
Yeah, Antoninus Pius. Thank you.
Oh, he'd be chill.
Yeah, he'd be a great one.
That's a great time to go, actually.
Yeah, that's a great time. He's not going to have you assassinated. He's not a Nero. He's not a Caligula. He's actually he's pretty good. He's known for just being super mellow.
Yeah.
That would be fun. Then I come back.
Definitely.
I do not want to stay in ancient Rome.
No.
I just want to spend a day there.
Yeah.
All right, what about you?
I think I would... I've said this before. It's super basic. I'd love to go to New York City in the 1920s.
Yeah, I knew that.
And I don't know what I would do during the day. Probably sleep. But... or just explore.
Yeah.
But I know at night, we're going to rage.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to a jazz club.
Are you drinking again?
Yeah. That's...
Your sobriety be damned.
When it comes to historical magic... Screw my sobriety.
Oh my god. We're too funny.
Oh my gosh. So I think I would love to see Duke Ellington play live.
Yeah.
It would be so much fun.
It'd be so much fun.
Yeah, and then I'd leave because things get less fun.
Yeah?
That's a really good question.
Yeah. That's a great one. Okay.
The next one?
Is it me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it starts with the one next to it, though.
Stephanie, before helping raise your siblings, was there a time that you did want kids? I understand if that's too personal, so no worries if you don't have to answer. Oh, no, she's answering it.
Wilker Thug.
Oh, Wilker Thug. I'm sorry.
That's not too personal. That makes sense. I didn't realize that I had said I didn't want kids.
Oh, yeah.
because that was true for most of my life.
It's true.
I didn't want kids. Helped a lot with my siblings. They are right now 20 and 16. They're my babies. And I feel like I could be good. The way that I look at motherhood right now is if it happens, it's going to be the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't happen, I'm still going to be okay and have a really fulfilling life. We would like to have kids, maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, I'd say 1 or 2 kids.
Yeah.
No more than 2.
But before, this is like fairly recent, I guess, maybe in the last like few years that we've decided that. And before that, I was always very adamant. Never, like, not as a little girl, I wasn't ever like, I want to be a mom, you know?
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with it. It just really wasn't on my mind. But now it is more. So it'd be cool. Cool to have a little weirdo. Yeah. Maybe we'd let the weirdos name our child.
Oh, that would be crazy.
Right? If we got them to vote on it. Okay, and this is from KT Volk. What do you guys think your medieval professions would be?
That's a great question.
What about you? What do you think yours
I'd probably
is?
be a blacksmith.
I'd be an apothecary.
Yeah, I think that would be really sick.
Yeah, I bet our shops would be like next to each other. And then we'd fall in love.
That's true. I think I'd also have like a little side hustle in like the Silk Road or something. Like investing in the Silk Road.
You glossed over our love story pretty quickly there.
I just assumed we'd fall in love, obviously, no matter where we would go.
Okay, thank you.
And, like, that's an obvious.
Good. Excellent. Do you want to read their other question?
Yeah,
it's pointed at me.
Oh, so yeah, KT Volk as well. If you could be a fly on the wall for any event in history, which event would it be?
Oh, no, sorry. I was reading the wrong one. Fly on the wall for any event. Ooh. I thought of dark ones immediately.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So I was like, ooh, at my own brain. Any event in history. I'm trying to think of not dark ones.
I know. The 2 immediately that popped in my head were death.
Mm-hmm. Mine too. What were they?
The crucifixion.
Oh, yeah, that came up.
And then assassination of Caesar.
Those 2 came up for me too. But then I was also thinking of when Anne Boleyn's executed.
Also, okay, non-death related. I want to be there in old Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Old Kingdom Egypt. So this is a long, long, long time ago when they're building the pyramids.
That would be cool. That's a really good one.
I want to see how they did it.
Yeah.
I think
to observe.
I do not think it was aliens. Be very clear. I did think they had some like really clever engineering practices.
Yeah.
And I do think, and it is possible. It's just, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
How they did it.
Yeah.
But I want to see it.
I think those are the only ones that come to mind for me. If any non-death ones come to mind, I'll let you all know. Okay. And the next one would be... Is it you or me? I already forgot.
It is you.
Okay. Danny Swank?
Yeah.
Do you believe in ghosts? If so, why? Any experiences? Other than Steph's home? I know that one. My abuelita's home?
Yeah. I think that's what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes. I believe in something that you could say are ghosts for sure. I'm like open. I don't know exactly how it works, but I do believe that there are like facsimiles of like things that happened in the past that bleed into the present.
Mm-hmm.
I think that does happen.
Yeah. I think
you heard a ghost.
Yeah.
And we talked about it on an episode.
Mm-hmm. I think I have always been raised to believe in ghosts, and not in a kind of like literal sense, but just raised to believe that like there are energies around us that we can't fully explain yet.
That's kind of my interpretation of it as well.
Mm-hmm. So definitely. Have you ever had a ghost experience?
Yes, when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I remember looking outside the window. It was like, I was a little kid too. I saw a ghost outside my room. I was on the second story. But it wasn't menacing or anything. It wasn't like peering in like that. It was just kind of like out my window. And that was the very first night, because we had just moved. This was like 1998, guys. This is a long time ago. I was 6 years old. And for basically the rest of my life living in that room, or going to sleep in that room, I'd always have the shutters closed.
Wow.
After that very first night.
That made an impression on you.
It absolutely did.
So interesting.
Yeah, that freaked me out.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even menacing or anything. It just was there.
But you just get the sense of like, in a way, like you're not supposed to be here.
Yeah, I was like, hey, like, I know you're not here to hurt me, but you're scaring the living crap out of me.
Yeah. That's definitely what ghost interactions feel like.
Yeah.
Okay, read the next one.
Okay, so this is from Tristan Ray.
Mm-hmm.
I may have missed this update, but did... No!
The Italy trip.
The Italy trip. We did talk about that one. So the next one is, what got you guys so into history? Oh, and that is from Theater Dork 3686.
I think for me, it was reading historical fiction as a kid.
Yeah.
Like just books that had bits of history in them. The girlies know. American Girl Doll series of books. Each American Girl Doll has a book. She has a story that coincides with like a period of history.
Interesting. Okay.
So there's Kit, there's Josefina. Those were like two of my favorites. I think that is what got me into like, oh, how did people used to live? What were humans doing before me? As well as there was a series of books that were the diaries of different women throughout history.
Mm-hmm.
I read Cleopatra's diary and was obsessed. So I think for me, it's historical fiction.
That's a really, I think part of that is for me as well. Another part is
video games?
Game. Yeah. But, one particular video game when I was like, I think the initial seed, it was Age of Empires back in like the 90s, like 1999, I want to say. And then I did have like, growing up, I played like Call of Duty, like the World War II Call of Duty games, not the modern warfare ones. No, I played the old school ones.
Wow.
So like World War II ones. I even had like a Civil War video game at one point. So a lot of video games too, I will say.
Yeah. So stories.
Yeah, it was stories.
That's what history is.
Exactly. History is just like a bunch of gossip, guys.
It's a bunch of chisme. This is from Bryn Mayer. What tips do you have for a freshman in college? Graduating high school next week. Oh,
That's
gonna
so
do
sweet.
anthro at UW. Congratulations, Bryn.
That's really cool. Congratulations.
That's a huge achievement in anthropology. What a cool thing to study.
Yes.
Low-key wish that's what I had chosen. No shade to the mental health field, but much shade to the healthcare of this country.
Yeah, healthcare industry in this country can...
Tips for a freshman in college.
Take advantage of everything.
Try everything.
Really, like, push yourself. I think my one regret is that, like, there was too many nights that I, like, was just like, I don't want to, like, do anything. Or, I didn't take advantage of, like, certain things that were available to college students.
You didn't do a lot of, like, clubs or programs.
No, I really didn't. I was active in, like, my fraternity. And then I was like, that's enough. And I'm like, no, it's not enough. Like, I was also in the investing society.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And I just pictured you with like a little monocle and a top hat.
Like, money.
So do everything.
Do everything. Like, really. And also just try to, like, network. Like, okay, no. Take that back. Try to just meet as many people as you can. Because you never know. Yeah, and just make friends with as many folks as you can. And just really have people from, like, diverse backgrounds. And I think that will serve you really well. Not only in the college, and you'll have a great time, but also, like, later in life, too.
Yeah.
A lot of these friendships will... I'm still friends with a lot of the folks that I met in college, and some of them are my best friends.
Same. I think what helped me was doing lots of things, yes. I did, like...
yeah, you were a lot better about it than I was.
Yeah, I did, like, different programs and clubs and stuff like that. But it was nice that my home base was my sorority. But I think just having access to, like, smaller communities within, especially, like, UW's a big school.
Yeah,
Within, like, a large school.
I mean, regardless if that's Washington or Wisconsin, those are both big schools.
Yeah. So having, like, a community base where you can, kind of, like, have your people.
Yeah.
But I really also agree of just, like, trying things.
Exactly.
You're starting a new chapter of your life. This is the time to try things.
Yeah.
And figure out what you like. Also from a neuropsych perspective, right now you are still in this period of time where your brain is developing its preferences. So if you don't expose yourself to something now, by the time you're like 24, 25, you're less likely to have a preference for it later.
Right.
So try new foods.
Definitely.
See new sites. Talk to people that you normally wouldn't have interacted with, and it'll literally help expand your neural networks.
Oh, also study abroad. That is one thing I did do, and I'm so grateful for that experience.
And that's something I didn't do, and that's my one regret.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, the next question from Olivia.ht, and this is a funny one. If Qatar offered you a $400 million plane, would you accept? So I'm assuming you're asking if I was president of the United States. No, I wouldn't accept because I've read the Constitution. If I'm a private citizen, sure, why not?
Even as a private citizen, I don't think so.
But actually, yeah, you know what? If there are no strings attached and it's truly a gift and there's nothing else, it's not going to affect any. I will be very clear. It wouldn't affect any of my judgments.
I don't owe you anything.
I owe you nothing. This is truly a gift. Then yes, I'll take it as a private citizen. As any sort of public official, absolutely not, because that violates my oath to the Constitution and to really the American people.
Wow.
I have some thoughts, as you can say.
Yeah.
As you can see.
I agree. Yes, well said.
Yeah.
I love that. That was a cheeky one to end on because the last two are kind of repeats.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, those are just kind of like repeats from like what we've already done. So,
yeah.
Olivia, great question to end on. You didn't answer the question, though.
I don't think I would under any circumstances.
Yeah, fair.
I think it feels too extravagant, even as a private citizen, if there's no strings attached. I'd be like, could you just give some of that money to like education?
Well, or what you could
housing,
do is accept it and then
security,
and then sell the plane and then donate those proceeds to.
Yeah, who am I selling it to?
I don't know, Elon Musk.
Yeah, if I can use the money for something else, I don't think it needs to be a plane, then yeah.
Yeah, and I think part of that money would go to like things that I care about, like education, critical infrastructure projects, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just me though.
That's just us. We care about like the
other
future.
People. Yeah. The future of like the country, the future of the world, It's a crazy thought, I know.
It's so funny.
Well, those
Weirdos.
are all the questions. Yes.
Thank you for all your questions. Those were awesome.
Those are really great questions. And also, Weirdos, I hope you guys enjoyed this special like Q&A episode.
Yeah.
Because we don't do these often. I think the last time we did it was probably for our 100th episode, which ironically was recorded at Spotify as well.
That's right. You're right.
But that was a long time ago.
And we've had the community grow since then. So this is a great time to do this.
Exactly. I think this is our third Q&A.
I love it.
I love it too.
Thank you so much for listening, Weirdos. You know what to do.
Tell them, what do we do? What do they do?
They got to rate. They got to review. They got to subscribe.
Like on all the platforms. Guys, we're on... Okay, let me give you a rundown.
Yeah.
We're on YouTube. Yes, that's true. Our videos are on YouTube. We're on Spotify, obviously. We're on Apple Podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
And anywhere
and Instagram.
else. Oh, yeah, and Instagram.
Yeah, at History for Weirdos.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you so much again, Weirdos.
And until next time.
Adios.
Adios. Yay! We're done, baby. Let's get pizza.